Here's the tip of the week. Change is inevitable. Yes, we all know it. Yet, it produces the most amount of anxiety for people. Change creates stress. When the change is chosen and the future is expected, such as moving up the academic ladder, getting a promotion in the company, getting married, having a child, any of those changes, they're still stressful. Even when change is chosen, there are areas of unknown awaiting that creates anxiety. There's also grief and mourning period to let go of the status quo, whether you liked it or not. There's also the uncomfortableness and the effort of acquiring new behaviors and patterns while letting go of the old ones. When change has not been chosen and it is forced upon, such as being fired, laid off, being told that your partner is requesting for a divorce, a war, pandemic, illnesses, all of those. The shock, the denial, the resistance, the anger, anxiety, and the grief of losing what the person has become extremely hard. Envisioning a pleasurable future is going to be resisting and at times even impossible. I've talked to a senior in a high school who's going through the transition from childhood to adulthood, knowing that he needs to say goodbye to all his friends who all will be going to different colleges across the nation, anxious about moving to college away from home for the first time in his life, terrified of taking care of himself without his parents being there all the time. I had a conversation with a woman who, after 10 years of marriage, her husband left home and wants a divorce. She is in the utmost grief stage, bargaining at times, begs at times, yells, pushes him away, cries all day, and will not accept what is being proposed. She refuses to see a future without him and therefore cannot envision the future of herself. I spoke with a man who, after 3 months of sobriety, after 10 years of being on painkillers and other types of opioids, is terrified of living sober day to day and faces his emotional dysregulations. He misses his coping mechanism of numbing his feelings, even though it was truly unhealthy. The future terrifies him. He does not see himself equipped to create a successful life. So his anxiety, shame, hopelessness, and helplessness pushes him away, goes back to relapse. Even relapse terrifies him. He feels stuck between a rock and a hard place of misery with change in any direction. I spoke to a couple who are in love and are planning to move in together and get married. Great plan. It's all a good change, right? They are both very anxious about how to adapt to each other's space, temperament, and needs. They're aware that they must negotiate on all levels, from adjusting to the bedroom temperature to all major financial decisions. The change is going from a singlehood that allowed each of them to make a solo decision about what made them comfortable to couplehood that requires for both to be happy and comfortable. The grief of losing personal freedom to the anxiety of how far they must lose themselves to gain the us. Yes, change is inevitable. Change is happening every second, whether you realize it or not. However, you're choosing to be consistent with a belief or a behavior, and that is why it appears constant. I want to say this again. Change is happening every second, whether you realize it or not. However, it is you that's choosing to be consistent with a belief or a behavior that it makes it appears to be constant. It has the delusion that it's constant. You're not even breathing the same air every time. You fill up your lungs, but it appears that you're consistently breathing the same way because you think that way. Inconsistency or change threatens our perceived sense of safety and security. Therefore, human beings need to create an illusion that all is constant to protect their own sanity. Human beings takes what has experienced in the past and projects it into the future to keep the momentum and consistency of existence. Creating a vision of the pleasurable future is the key to reducing anxiety of handling change, since it is a natural process to grieve for all that you are losing as a part of the change. Allow yourself to cherish all that you have gained, all that you have learned, experienced, and will hold within you as a pleasurable memory, complete with what you have to leave behind by talking to people, writing letters, writing in your own journal, expressing your appreciation about all that you have gained from those experiences. Cry if you need, laugh, hug, and kiss it goodbye. Now, create a visual picture of the future that you intend to create. Create a collage, write a detail of what you want to create, see yourself behaving, thinking, feeling, and accomplishing those goals. Enjoy the feeling of creativity and an achievement. When the what if negative ones show up, come back, ask yourself if there's anything you could do for that not to happen, and then incorporate those steps into your daily planning. Observe your accomplishments so far, assess and identify your strengths and skills, and trust that you will use them when necessary. Realize that life has been changing constantly since you were conceived and born, and you have handled it. Therefore, you will handle any changes that it surfaces. If change intrudes upon you and takes you by surprise, use all your skills to handle it. View change as an ongoing concept, the same as you view the weather or driving conditions. Look for it, be prepared, and handle it with your strength. Change is inevitable. View it as an ongoing concept. Welcome it as the next level of your growth. Handle it with all your strengths and await the next change as it is guaranteed to show up. For more observational and integrational skills and to set intentional goals for your future, get my book, Life Reset, the Awareness Integration Path to Creating the Life You Want. Thank you.